All right, welcome back to episode 20 of Monsters of the Mic. Whoop whoop. Another victory week two.
Woo! Let's go.
Yeah. Go ahead. You want to start? You want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I was at the game, right? First of all, freaking cold.
Ripping. Ripping.
It was horrible. It was brutal.
Ripping.
I had Gus. He's I guess like, well, he's my cousin, kind of.
Right. Right,
Um,
right, right.
but he opened his soda. Oh no, he got a soda from like the bar. And as
Uh-huh.
soon as they gave it to him, the Coke it like froze. So I thought that was really funny.
Hilarious.
Um,
Hilarious.
but yeah, I thought the Bears took care of business. Like I said, I wasn't really worried about the Browns. I didn't I didn't
Hmm.
buy into Shador. They were already like fumbling. Um, it seems like the Browns don't really buy into him either, which is kind
Sure.
of sad. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
just considering like, some of the throws he made was actually like really, really good. It was just
Yeah.
like I don't think he's got receiver help and there's a lot of other factors that go into that. But um on the Bears side, I thought Caleb looked awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. That
Can I
that
say something that might sound like out of pocket, but maybe is right? Like I know he's a good player, but like I felt like with Ondunze not being force fed the ball and dropping passes, Caleb was able to get into a rhythm.
uh I can see that,
I know it's
right?
out of pocket, right? I'm not saying that Rome is not good, right? It's not like you know what I'm trying to say, but Rome sometimes drops
No,
the passes, right? In important plays in open field, and like sometimes I feel like that takes away. I felt like in this game, yeah, I know he was 17 for 28, but like he was I felt like in this game. Granted, right, they're playing the Browns, who are right atop the top three defense in the league. I don't care. I know we mollywopped them 3-31, but that's what happens when your quarterback turns it over three times, right? Like
I
that.
I think they're the number one pass defense in the league, by
Right,
the
and
way.
and
Yeah.
and Caleb was carving it up in that win. It is not easy to throw in that Chicago win, and he was dotting it. And I feel like a lot of that was able to do a little bit more what Ben Johnson wanted to do in like quick passes, quick releases to allow the deep ball down the field and all that things. And I felt like with Rome sometimes being force fed and dropping, like I feel like that is actually impactful to our offense. I know it's one sample size, but I
Mm.
felt like that's something that I saw, just an observation I had.
Well, I wouldn't say one. It's not just one, right? Because you had the week before the Packers game.
True.
Like the first half wasn't too sharp, but maybe he was trying to get into a rhythm without having Rome. And
Agreed.
that second half, it looks like he just built on that second half going into the Browns game, and he
Yeah.
looked like I get what you mean. Like
Hmm.
he was distributing more. I thought like Loveland was involved a good chunk.
Yeah,
Uh,
Luther Burden had six catches for 84 yards was well, on seven targets. So right, so he
yeah.
caught most every single pretty much every ball, and like that's great. Like DJ 4 for 69, right? Loveland 4 for 63. So like that's it's perfect, great progression spreading the ball around. But sometimes I feel like with Rome, right, not necessarily like it's a negative thing, but I think because Rome lacks the speed a little bit, in my opinion. Like he's explosive, but he's not Luther Burden explosive, right? He's not DJ Moore explosive, right? Like Loveland is huge, explosive for his size. I feel like Rome has a little bit less of that because of his size. And I feel
Mm,
like sometimes, right, like Ben Johnson wants to play fast, play action, right? Move the ball quick down the field, this, that, and the other. And sometimes Caleb has to wait for Rome to run these routes that are a little bit deeper and it's a little bit harder because he's not as quick. And I feel like that sometimes throws off Caleb's rhythm. But once again, just I might be just talking out of my ass, and who knows? I'll figure it out. They probably will because it's Ben Johnson, but something that I just observed the last like game,
it's
even going to the Packers game.
I think it's important. I mean, like because of at least today's injury report, uh, Rome and Luther aren't playing or they haven't been practicing the last two
Right,
days. So like
right.
maybe we will go into this game without Rome. Um, I do think that it was kind of dumb to let him test it out because he hurt himself in warm-ups.
Right,
Um,
right. Like
I
he should have
think
just kept them out this entire game because, like you said, it was the Browns.
right. Yeah. I don't know whose idea that was, but that was I would say poor judgment.
Yeah,
Uh um but nonetheless, they made it through this game. Sure, I mean Luther got hurt. I think he rolled his ankle.
yeah,
So that might be a big blow for the next game. Um But I do think that there's other guys that can fill in, right? So
yeah.
like Zacchaeus, he's played really well. He had a couple of drops here and there. I don't know,
Sure.
early November, but I mean, I think he can clean that up. We still have DJ, still have Loveland,
You know
Komet.
what? And speaking of DJ, I'm really glad that he had a great game. So like people could put this noise behind of like, oh, Caleb doesn't like him, this, that, and whatnot, yada 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 yada. No,
Hmm.
it's just they are figuring it out and it's fine. And DJ is used to being the guy, and I think it's hard for him to buy in. I think he's buying into you're not the guy anymore.
Yeah.
Right? This team has a bunch of guys.
There's a lot of mouths to feed, dude.
Right.
Like,
And I think DJ has to understand like you're gonna get your ball, you're gonna get your time, you're gonna get your games right. But like that touchdown pass that Caleb threw that he shouldn't have at like that comparison of like a Montana pass, right? Like
that was awesome,
that
by the
was
way.
awesome. Like holy hell, right? And I love when they asked him, right? Caleb's like, I can make that throw, I can make any throw. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want my quarterback. That's what I want my
Yeah.
attitude. I want my quarterback that he can make any throw on any Sunday in any type of weather, right? So huge. And I think for DJ too, I think also what was hard for him is this is the first time in his career collegiately and professionally that he's ever won 10 games in a season for a team.
Hmm.
When he was with
And
Maryland, the most they won is 6 games. Obviously, he came from Carolina, and obviously, right, he came here with the Bears as they're slowly building. It's the first time he's won 10 in his 8-year career.
the
And so,
first
like,
year, the first year with Cam, did he not
no,
win 10 games?
it was not 10 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So I feel like, like him buying into the system and realizing, like, okay, like, yeah, like I used to be the guy, the ball was force fed to me all the time, but like, I'm okay with being right second or third sometimes, right? Because look what he's doing to the team and winning. So I think if he starts to buy in, which he is, like this would be huge for the offense. It'll be massive for the offense, right? Because it's like the whole thing with AJ Brown with the Eagles, force me, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me. It's like I felt like that threw off their game, right? So I feel like every game is going to be a different type of game plan for Ben Johnson. I think the guys got to buy into it, and I think most of them have.
I I agree. I mean, we've seen it all up to this point, right? We've seen Luther have a big day. We've seen Loveland have a big day. We've seen
Hmm.
Rome have a big day. Manungai, Swift, like
Yeah. Now
they're
DJ, right?
now DJ, like they're all taking turns, and
Hmm.
I think I think it's a testament to Ben Johnson and like what he does going into the game during game plan and
Right.
like really putting his guys' strengths against their weaknesses, right?
Hmm.
And just if it works, he's gonna stay with it the entire game. He's not gonna go away until it stops working
Hmm.
or he'll
Hmm.
find creative ways to get them the
Agreed.
ball.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's a weapon. It
Yeah.
it's gonna be helpful these next couple of games because it's gonna get tough.
Yeah, it is gonna get tough, right? And continuing with that offense, right? Malanga had a really rough game. That was a tough game for him. Swift, obviously, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like I've come
Mhm.
to expect that from Swift pretty much every game. Like he he's he shut me up this season, right? Didn't think like he would pan
I,
out. 'Cause he really didn't pan out in
I
Detroit
didn't
too
I didn't either.
under Ben Johnson. But you know what?
Yeah,
He stepped up. And honestly, I think you know what that is. That's Eric Bellaby, man. It's their running back
I
coach. I
I
really
think
put it
so.
on him. He's such a fantastic fucking coach. I'm so happy he's on our roster as our on coaching staff. But like Swift had another fantastic game, right? The offense looked good, right? The big thing that I took out of this was you had an emotional loss against your arch rivals. You're going into essentially another trap game and a big game, honestly, for standing purposes. How are you going to respond? And bro, they fucking responded in all aspects of the damn freaking field, right? Like
It's like it didn't even
everything.
bother them. Yeah,
No, no, and I love when crap, I forgot is it Jackson that got the game ball for the pick? I forgot his name.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
I think it was him. He comes out and he goes, like this is great, it's awesome. But he's like, I still have a better taste in my mouth, and that was it. I'm like, yes, like they know what's important. They're not gonna celebrate these fucking ticky tack wins. Like they
Yeah.
know what's in front of them, and that comes from Ben Johnson, bro. Like that is so nice to see in a locker room and be like, yeah, like all right, cool, but job's not done.
Yeah, yeah, I did see that clip and it put a smile on my face because
Like, yeah,
I all of them were like they had already checked out of the Browns game and
yeah,
were already looking into to Green Bay and they know how much it means. I think they know that they let him off the hook and that, you know,
yeah,
they should have won that game, but
right,
they will have their revenge,
right.
I would
Right.
say soon. Uh,
Right. But like considering with the Browns game, like I know we talked about
I-
about Shador a little bit, right? I'm not. Listen, I'm like, you know me, I'm kind of a critic of him, but there's talent there, right? I think if given the right circumstances and the investment, it could be there. But it doesn't help, bro, when he led the team with 24 rushing yards on 2 carries, right? Their rushing game could not get their mama started in that game, right? And it came
yep.
down to him, and he threw 35 times, right? And like 3 picks, right? 5 sacks, defense huge again, right? Again, CJ Gardner Johnson there. You know what I mean? But I feel
Hmm.
I felt like the most consistent player on that Browns was their tight end. You know what I mean? Here,
Bannon.
yeah, right. 7 for 48, sure. Not that many yards, but like he was reliable. He had 14 targets, so you knew where the ball was going. You knew where Shador was putting that ball every single time.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
the ball he threw to Judy in the corner of the end zone, like it was in Judy's chest. Like,
yeah,
oh, you
yeah.
gotta catch that.
You're right. That was actually a beautiful ball, but yeah,
Like,
Judy has to catch that, right? Then Miles Garrett, right, getting closer. He's I think one sack away from
one
tying the
sack.
record, man. I
Yeah.
I, I low key wanted him to get it in Soldier Field. I was just like, fuck it, like we're winning and just sack him a couple times, like
Nah, I
get it
was
here.
hoping he didn't get it. I was
Uh,
hoping. Yeah,
but that's
I didn't
really
want.
cool though. I think it's awesome because people are gonna always right. We talked about a little bit about this, right? I think in person where people are gonna bitch about like, well, now it's a 17 game season, right? So like the stats are obscured. So like, I hope he does it in the next 2 games, right? To be like, hey, like he did it in 16 games, so shut the f up. You know what I
Mm,
mean? But that's a really cool record that to see to go down because it's been there forever.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna do it. There's no way he's not gonna be able to do that. But I, I, I kind of wanted to go back to the Bears though. Like,
Do it.
um, I don't. Me personally, I don't know how
Okay.
you feel, but me personally, from what I've seen from the team and the way that they respond and the way that they're playing, I I can't put a ceiling on them, right? So I do think that they're a playoff team, but I don't know. I can see them making it far.
I see what you're saying, right? I see what you're saying. Like you don't like obviously you and I discussed, I think when we did our first episode or like our prediction for our season, I think you had them at 12-5. I think I had them at 11-6.
Yeah.
They're right there, right? You and I hit it at the ballpark, right? We're pretty much that's pretty much can they lose the last 3 games of the season? Absolutely not. Can everything come catastrophic? Yes. We've seen it, we've
Yeah.
lived it before, so you know what I mean? But realistically, right? They win one of these games, they get to 11-6, and we talked about it. 11-6 is wild card, and that's what was you and I discussed, right? When the first in preseason, that was the bare minimum for us,
Yeah.
right? Granted, yeah, outstanding that we're competing for a division, we're competing possibly for the first overall seed in the NFC, right?
Mm,
But I think what I'm looking at it right is I want to add to what you were saying is I think they're just very confident and they're not scared. Wait, no, sorry. They know who they are and they're
hmm.
confident enough and not scared enough to play anybody in this league.
And that's dangerous. Like
It's
that,
dangerous. It's
it
dangerous.
becomes dangerous in the playoffs
Yes. Yes.
because you have belief and like you're literally not capping yourself against the most talented teams. And
Correct.
let's just take a look at the other teams right now. The Rams, they're supposed to be the best team in the league right now, right? They just they might lose Devontae Adams. That's already one weapon off the board. I know their defense is really good. Their
Mhm.
offense is great. Matthew Stafford's amazing, but I like they can get got, right?
Yeah.
You can beat them in one game, right?
Yeah,
Same thing with Seattle. I think Seattle has a great defense, but you don't know
sure.
which version of Sam Darnold you're gonna get,
Agreed, agreed, agreed,
right?
agreed.
And and then Green Bay, like Green Bay just lost Micah Parsons. They
Dude,
might
you know, like I hate Green Bay, but I, as an athlete, never wish injury upon. And I was just like, fuck, like that's just bad for the game. Like
it was.
I was so upset. Like I know he's a Packer, but like, dude, the guy was having a monster fucking season.
He was amazing. Like literally
Yeah,
every game he stepped on the field, you just like he just kind of like I don't know, just like he grew up on on off the screen, right? Like he just pops, right?
yeah,
Like that's how
yeah.
I felt. Um,
Hmm.
unfortunately they lost him, right? They still have a couple good pass rushers, but it's not the
Sure.
same. It's not the
No, he
it's
murdered us that first game. He was making our life hell that first game, right? So like, you're right. So they got there as we'll go into that a little bit more deep in the preview in a second. But like they're right, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We don't know what version you're gonna get of them. They've been so finicky all season too.
exactly. The 49ers, their defense is entirely hurt. Their offense is really what you have to worry about, but
Right,
like
right. I honestly,
that's
the team that if I'm sorry if they get hot, that scares me is Detroit.
it would probably be Detroit because
They're
yeah.
just once they get healthy, or once they are, and they get hot. They're a dangerous team. But you're right. Like, what is the bar? But you know what I mean? The one thing is, I don't
If
want this confidence to become arrogance either. Right.
I
Which I think they got a little bit of that with the Packers loss last
mhm,
week, right?
I think so.
And
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
you
they got a
saw it.
little.
And you saw it against the Browns, right? It's like, no, we're not gonna just sit here and be like, oh, we're the same old Bears. We lost to our division rivals and we're gonna go on. No, we're just like, let's let's mollywop the crap out of the Browns like we're supposed to. And they did
Mm,
exactly what they're supposed to in all three phases. And
mm.
yeah, like because they know, and you said it two episodes ago. The division pretty much comes down to Saturday.
It does. It does. This is
Yeah,
the game. This
yeah,
really
yeah. You win
this
this game, you're up two games, and we can go right kind of go into right the preview, right? Is
mm,
you win this game, you're two games above the Packers
yeah. And
with two games left.
with 2 games left, and they play Baltimore and
They play the
uh,
Vikings.
the Vikings afterwards. The
Yeah.
Vikings have been getting hot lately, and
And I
oh
heard on 670 the score started to interrupt you. They interviewed Kevin O'Connell for like the Viking stuff, and he's like, "This is the first time, in December we're not playing for a playoff spot, whether it's division or wild card." And he's like, "I
mm,
told my guys, I'm like, we played two divisional opponents because they played Detroit and they played Minnesota the last 2 weeks."
yeah,
And he's like, "I still want us to finish out on top." He's like, "Last year we finished out 5-0 in December, so right, the backers are going to get 100% of the Vikings."
yeah,
So you know what
they're
I
gonna
mean?
get their best shot.
So yeah, so I just want to throw that in there. That O'Connell's like he's not throwing in the towel. He's like we're throwing everything at these teams.
Yeah, and it's obvious. Like, look how they played against the Dallas,
Yeah,
a team that Green Bay tied with.
correct.
Like, like and this is exactly what I mean. Like, I think you're in a position where, like, we're now in a position where the opportunity is there, right? All we have to do is go out there and beat Green Bay, take care of business, beat San Francisco. And then that 17th game might not mean so much. Maybe
Well,
seeding,
well,
like
what you say that scenario right is if the Bears win tomorrow and they win against San Francisco, they win a division.
exactly. And you're in the
It's
playoffs.
over. And you're in the
Yeah.
playoffs. You win a division, and that last game, you're right. It might be proceeding, but at that point, right, if the first overall seed's already kind of taken over, it doesn't fucking matter at that point. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
that's it's huge, right? And like, I think you're right. Like, they know. I think the city knows, right? I think all the players know. Like, this is it, right? If we go into this game, we got to win this game, right? Because it puts us in the best. We can pretty much knock out Green Bay too, right? Because they're gonna be in a tailspin, and who knows who the hell's gonna win, right? And if they lose
Mm,
and Detroit wins, sure they have a tiebreaker in Detroit, but like Detroit's one game right behind them. That all of a sudden, right? So like this has so much implications, and I think, like you said, I think the Bears responded in that game. It was a get right game against a team, right? And then the Packers. are kind of limping into this, right? They lost in Denver. They lost, Christian Watson went down of other things too. Then right, Micah Parsons. So like, how is that going
Yeah.
to impact the game, right? While the Bears are getting Tremaine Edmonds, are getting healthier, right? So like, this is a game where I feel like yes, the Bears, right, given everything, should win this game. But like I said the last time, it's always the Packers, and some shit always happens.
I look, I will sit here and tell you they are going to beat the Packers on Saturday.
Mm.
It's going to happen. And I told you I would say this 2 weeks ago.
You did, you did, you did.
I said 2 weeks ago I didn't feel good going into that first Green Bay game, but I think they would come back and respond better the next time. And this time, especially with Micah going down, and I'm not saying that the rest of the team that they're not good enough to beat us. I think they still are, but I
Hmm.
think you're not
Hmm.
gonna have him chasing around Caleb.
No,
It
no,
like
like he was the last game. So yes, you're gonna have to ask for a Green Bay guy to pick up the slack, right? And does that open up more things for you? I think it does, right? It
yeah.
truly does. And I think offensively, right, like.
How does that affect the run game for us
Right.
too,
How does
right?
it affect
Like,
the run game, right? And I think right they did a really good job running it last time against them, so I know they're gonna run it again, right? But I
mhm.
think it's going to be interesting because now, right, you can open a little bit more of the play action, right? You can open up because he's not getting chased like a freaking, duck with without his head on, right? Because Parsons
Yeah,
breathing down his damn neck every single play, right?
yeah.
But on the other side, right, like for Green Bay, I think Josh Jacobs had a decent game, so like he's gonna get his yards. He's a good running back. They have a good offensive line, right? Like that this is bound to happen, right? You got to mitigate that damage, but like you can't lose from the slot. You lost from the slot, right? Love had 3 touchdowns from all his touchdowns came from the slot last game. You cannot, and Kyler might not come back. Who the fuck knows? But you can't put C.J. Gardner Johnson back there and let Christian Watson, if he plays, or even Jalen Reed, just cook us up again from that freaking slot.
Yeah, I mean, well, right now, as of right now, we don't know if Christian Watson is gonna play. I do agree with you. You can't, I think what you can't do is like I don't think that you can blitz Love. I think you have to change your approach to this one a little bit.
Hmm.
Because the last game he just every time he blitzed him, that was like
Yeah.
either a touchdown or first down. Like it bit us in the ass. Um, I do I like I get why Dennis Allen does it though, because we don't have the guys, the front four to get home. But I think
Hmm.
that this is the game that we pay Montez Sweat for. Like he has to show up for this one,
Hmm.
right? They
Hmm.
they might be without their tackle, Zach Tom, I think is
Yeah,
his
I
name.
saw that too, right? So like this is a game where you need to take advantage of this
You
game.
got to take advantage of it. Yeah, you have to.
Simple. So, and I
Yeah.
know Ben Johnson knows this. I know the guys like they want this game. I think they want this game so bad, right? You put yourself at 11-4, sitting pretty right. Like
Hmm.
you're going to be one game behind, right, for the NFC overall seed because Thursday night, which we'll get in a second, right, is Rams and Seahawks. Winner is the number one overall seed in the NFC, right, and the other one goes to
Hmm.
11-5. So like you are right then and fucking there in striking distance for that too. So like. This game is huge, and yes, like, I think, right. I know it's gonna sound crazy, right? Is I think Caleb's gonna continue that rhythm and success into this game, right? Like, you're right. Those first 2 games against the Packers, fucking horrendous, absolutely atrocious football. But those last two, yes, he threw a pick, but guess what? Everybody does it. I'm over it. Who cares, right? It was frustrating. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
coming off that game, right? He's had a great game against Cleveland, right? So like I still think he's gonna come in there and he's gonna start throwing that ball around. I think the confidence is there. I think you can see is they're opening up the playbook.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
slowly opening up the playbook, and that's a testament to what we've said
Caleb getting
multiple times. Ben Johnson and Caleb buying into each other's growth.
yeah. Yeah, the development is working. Like that's why
Yes.
he's opening up the playbook because he's
Right.
starting to trust him.
Right.
Caleb's starting to trust it as well. And it like you
Mm-hmm.
could see it. Like now you can start to see it. I do think
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with you. Like he's going into this game confident. Like
Yeah.
he I do think he's gonna make some spectacular plays on Saturday. And by the end of it, you know. Bears are gonna leave with a W.
I really hope so, right? And continuing talking about his development, right? Like, he's already hit his amount of touchdowns he threw last year, this year, right? He's still got 3 games left, right? Like, he is 4,000 gonna happen? I don't really think so unless he starts throwing 300 yards the last 3 games of the season. That one is,
Mm.
I
Do we
think he'll
really
get that.
care about it? Like,
I don't care about it at this point. Like, let him continue to develop. Let that shit be the benchmark next year. I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
Um, but he's done. He's only had 12 picks in his first 1,000 throws. That's five more. That's five better than C.J. Stroud when he broke that record.
mm,
And yes, was inconsistent. Right, some of those things are a ball, but like he doesn't turn over the ball. What more can you
mm.
ask for a quarterback? Right, you know
Yeah,
what I mean. He doesn't
yeah,
put your defense in shitty. He doesn't put the team in shitty situations. You know what
yeah.
I mean? He's elusive. He's smart with his legs. He's learning how not to take hits. Like, you know what I mean? I love that. He's his processing and command of the huddle has become so much better. And can we give one kudos to, I think, one thing that you and I haven't really touched on all season is the fucking offensive line.
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you,
Yeah.
Bulls. And that's all Ben Johnson, in my opinion. Andrew Dahlman and Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson are all Pro Bowlers, in my opinion, because that offensive line and Darnell, right? Like,
And Darnell.
right,
Even
and Ozzy's been
Ozzy.
fantastic, great, and like the Canadian Eagle, they've been great going back and forth. Like they
Yeah.
did, they did a fantastic job building that offensive line, and I don't think I've given it any credit this season so far.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's because we haven't really heard uh their names come up too much, and that's a
Right?
good thing. That's a good thing.
Yes.
That means they're doing their job. Um, and it is a credit to Ben Johnson as well. Like he identified the guys that he wanted and the guys that he needed in order to run his system. And
Right.
would you look at that? Like in one year, the fucking offensive line is fixed. Like
Correct. And I know we
uh,
talk shit about like Poles' trade, like yo, that fourth rounder for Joe Tooney.
it was it was sweet. I was
Look where the Chiefs are.
exactly like
Right. Like
look how big of a hit that took on the Chiefs.
the
Like
dude's a winner. The dude's an Hall of Famer, and you got him for the last 4 or 5 years of his career. Yo, sign me up every damn year for that. Like,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And that's like not even just the production on the field, but like even like the leadership qualities off the field, like the things that he's seen, like being he blocked for Tom Brady, man. Like he won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady.
He's
What do
four
you
times. I think it's his 3 or 4 Super Bowls. I think whatever it is, right, with Brady
Yeah.
and Mahomes. Like, dude, like the man is a winner, and you can see the impact he has on all that offensive line. Like all those guys, like that is so pivotal. So as much as I give Post crap for some of the trades for like the wide receivers and it didn't work out and all those things.
Hmm.
Kudos to that trade. Absolutely fantastic, right? So,
Can I
yeah,
make a can I make an argument for polls right now?
sure.
I do think he's done a good job of collecting talent over the years.
Okay.
And now I think we're just starting to see that talent um, be shown off because of the coaching, right? It wasn't working with Matt Eberflus, right? Only the defensive side, and even then, it was still kind of shaky.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
but like he can find guys that you know that work. Like he finds talent. It's just
Sure.
he
I mean, look at Nashawn Wright. Look at CJ Gardner Johnson, right? Like these guys have filled in a massive roles for this team this year and has given Dennis Allen life to do what he wants with that defense.
yeah yeah.
You know
I
what I mean? So and yeah, like he's gonna have to make some tough decisions about who he signs this year, right? Coming into it, but I think Ben Johnson said it right. Like no one's job is guaranteed, right?
Yep.
No one's job. And look, and a perfect example for Detroit, he let DeAndre Swift go, and DeAndre Swift was a pretty decent running back at that time, right? Like middle of the pack, good running back. Let him go. He's like, fuck off. I don't need you. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And that was same concept there, same concept here. It's like, you know what I mean? So like, I think the talent is there. And going back to what you said about Montez Sweat, dude, Jared Grady is coming up massive the last couple of games for us, dude. 2 sacks his last game. I think him being healthy now because he missed some times is beautiful in that middle of the D line for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think Grady Jarrett is starting to make an impact, and I think he got a sack this last game, right?
He
That
had
was
two. He had two.
yeah two. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, let's just hope he keeps it going
Yeah,
on Saturday because, like I said, we're gonna need it, man.
yeah.
We're- Um,
And you know, and it's a primetime game too, right? Like so, like Caleb likes the lights around him. He likes the primetime games, right? And he's done well in primetime games. Like, sure, he hasn't won all of them, but he's done pretty well in primetime games, right? Like, he's putting us in position to win. So, yeah, I think you're right. This game, as you said a couple weeks ago, is the most important game. And you win this game, and you control your own destiny at that point. You win this game, you are the master of your own destiny. You need to win one of the last two games,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
You win the 49ers, but you know what's crazy is next week we can this Saturday if we win and Detroit loses, we clinch a spot. We don't win the division yet, but we clinch a spot.
Mm.
So like
Yeah.
we may make the wild card by the end of next Sunday.
I I would love for that to
Bro,
be the case.
bro,
Yeah.
I would just sit there and be like, we're in the playoffs. Like and the haters can shut the fuck up. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. But no, I think the Bears win this game. No, I think it's honestly, I think the Packers are a good team. They have good veterans. You know, LaFleur's going to get them ready. Like, how are they going to bounce back on a short week, tough loss with the emotional turmoil of losing one of their leaders? I
Mm.
think the Bears get 17-27.
I I do think the Bears win. I'm gonna say 24-17 for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Still one score. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but before we go to the next topic, can we pause real quick? Because I
yeah,
got okay.
yeah. So I think you're right. I think they win the game. I think they take a 2-game lead on the division and put us in a very very interesting position the last 2 games of the season, right? But speaking of that positioning. Tomorrow's game is Rams Seahawks, huge game. I think implications for division and seeding, right?
Yep.
I know the Rams won the first one, I think in LA, right? I think 1921. Darnold had a rough game, I think it was.
Yeah.
Threw 4 picks.
hmm
Um, I think the Seahawks win this game.
I I am actually with you on that. I had Seahawks taking this one. They're at home. They should be a little more comfortable. Um, LA's on the road. It's gonna be a crazy environment. I think Darnold
Mm-hmm.
bounces back, and they almost had him the first time, right? It was
Yeah.
I know Sam Darnold had a bad game, so I think Seattle wins this one, and they take the one seed, right, with the win.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, awesome.
Yeah, they take the 1 seed, right? And then so like that once again, either team wins, like we're still gonna be a game behind them. But I think because the Rams already beat them once, I'm rooting for the Seahawks because the Seahawks need to split that game just for positioning purposes, so we can actually because right the tiebreaker comes down to I think conference record and all that crap and that stuff like so like I think it's important that we win that game. But yeah, I think the Seahawks take it. I think it's gonna be I I want to say it's a shootout low key, but honestly, like I'm thinking it's gonna be like 24-21, 24-20 type of game. Very close, points are gonna come at a premium in my opinion
Yeah,
in that game.
in that one, yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be low scoring, kind of similar to the Seahawks game against the Colts.
yeah, yeah.
Eh,
Agreed. All right, so going into our locks and upsets, I think my lock this week is the Texans over the Raiders. The Raiders are abysmal in every sense of the word abysmal. They are so bad, it is disgusting. Um, but I don't think that Raiders offense is going to do anything against that Texans defense. I just truly don't think that's going to happen, man. So I think the Texans come out with that win and they won emphatically. My upset. This one is gonna surprise you maybe, but I think because of what's that implied, I think the Ravens beat the Patriots on Sunday night.
Oh, wow, that's tough. That's a
I think that's my upset of the week is the Baltimore Ravens beating the New England Patriots.
yeah. Damn, that I actually like that one a lot.
Mm,
That's a good one.
I think coming
Um,
off that emotional loss against Buffalo, right, and now starting to feel some heat. The Ravens need to win this game because the Pittsburgh's playing Detroit, so we need right Pittsburgh to beat Detroit. So I'm rooting for Pittsburgh, even though I don't like Pittsburgh, but I
mm,
know Detroit needs I know the Ravens need Detroit to beat fucking Pittsburgh, so I love it. It's chaos. I love the season so far, but yeah, I think the Ravens. I think Lamar's finally gonna be sick and tired of this narrative of like, these guys are the cream of the crop. No, like I gotta remember who's a two-time MVP, and I think he's gonna just go off on Sunday night.
That would be crazy, man. I don't know. The Patriot, I like the Patriot. Well, they matched up well against Josh Allen. Like this
No,
is
they did. I
it's
agree with you.
a
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I think this is where, right? Remember, we talked about how like December being the most important month of like you got to win these games, and like a lot of these games have a fuck ton of playoff implications. So like, this is the first time Drake May's there, right? Obviously, Vrabel's already been there, but like first time Drake May's feeling this pressure. How is he going to respond?
Mhm. Yeah.
So
I could see it. I could definitely see this happening. They haven't really played that many great teams other than the Bills and Tampa when they were reeling a little bit. So we'll see how that one goes.
yeah.
I actually have my lock. It's kind of obvious. It's gonna be the Bears over Green Bay on Saturday. That's my lock. I've been saying this for weeks,
You have
2 weeks.
been. You have
Um,
been.
so I just feel really good about the team. I know we just talked about them. Like it was kind of a head ass kind of call, but that's okay.
Sure. Sure.
Uh,
Sure.
my my upset is gonna be Tennessee over Kansas City in Tennessee. Um,
Interesting.
Mahomes, yeah. I know the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. They have good talent. Um, I just feel like Tennessee kind of has them in a position where like they can really pull off this
Yeah.
kind of upset, right?
Yeah.
Like Mahomes torn ACL, uh
So sad.
maybe no Rashi Rice. They might just have to deal with Kelsey. Um,
Right, right, and
I
you're right. I think, and look at it. Tennessee has been playing a lot better over the last couple of weeks.
mhm.
Like Cam Ward is starting to slowly, I think, figure out this league. Granted, he doesn't have a lot of talent on there, but they're starting to figure out like they're making games competitive, which is nice.
Right. Yeah, and that's all you could ask for. They were basically going toe to toe with the Niners until it got out of
Right,
hand.
right,
So
right, right. No, that's a nice one. I like that one.
mm,
Then power rankings. I actually did a lot of thinking and a lot of change this week in power rankings. So I'll start out with my 10 team. Is I told you if they would win, I put them in there as the Houston Texans. They are at 10. Their defense, once again, is just
nice.
absolutely filthy and nasty. I'm starting to believe it, and Stroud's starting to look like his old self. So
Yeah.
like, this team is a sneaky, sneaky dark horse in the AFC, man. Like they are. I know they're not the Bills, the Patriots, the Broncos, but man, these guys they just know how to win, and that
That
defense is
defense, man. That defense is
nasty,
nasty. Yeah.
nasty, nasty, nasty. At 9, I got Green Bay. They fell a little bit, obviously, right, with the loss in Denver.
Mm.
Just with a bunch of injuries they got, so like this is gonna be tough for them, right? And then at 8, I have the Chicago Bears. I moved them up 2 spots, right? I know I had them at 10 last week because of that loss, but they won. I have them at 8.
Hmm.
Um, if they win in Green Bay, maybe we dabble putting them in the top 5. I haven't gotten that far just yet. But yeah, I have them at 8. At 7, I have the San Francisco 49ers. I think once again, like I know their defense is bad, but they're still winning games on offense. If you can put up 40 points a game, like you can play with anybody, right? Like
Yep.
it's just the truth.
Yep.
7, I have I just did 7, right? No. Yeah, I just did 7.
Yeah, you just
At
did 7.
6, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm starting to.
Nice.
Trevor Lawrence that was a disgusting game, man. 44 points in fantasy per point wise, like that was just nasty, and all sorts of the word nasty. They're looking good. I know
Yep.
people are talking about like, oh, coach of the year. Mark Vrabel, Ben Johnson. I'm like, oh, y'all gotta look in Jacksonville. What that guy's done to that team. They're 10-4. That's all I gotta say. Like that.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Trevor's
great.
turned it around.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love to see it.
So at 5, I have the New England Patriots.
Yep.
Right, with that loss, that means at 4, I got the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
I got a change in my top 2. Seattle drops to 3, dog. And I told you, if the Broncos beat the Packers, I would believe. And they are my 2 team in my power rankings.
That is
With the
crazy.
Rams still at 1. I gave the Broncos so much shit, and I'm like, if they beat the Packers at home, which they did, I'm like, all right, fine. Here's your fucking kudos.
I'll give the Broncos credit, man. Like they were in that game even with Micah Parsons there.
Right.
Like I mean, yeah, as soon as he went out, they score like 14 points to
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Like
So tell me why I feel like Bo Nick steps up in those games like crazy. Like he was struggling the last couple of games, and out of nowhere, here's a four-piece touchdown game.
he
Like, dude,
just
what?
yeah, I was like, what the like against one of the best defenses in the league. Like, jeez,
Right,
man. Like
right. And I think it comes from that extra year playing at Oregon. Like he played in playoff games all the time, so like I feel like he was used to those atmospheres. But like if he can do that, imagine when he gets to the playoffs. Like I know last year they got absolutely blitzed by the Buffalo Bills last year. Like that was, but we talked about that was going to happen. But like
yeah.
this year's different, bro. I think Sean Payton could be coach of the year too, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
fascinating
Yeah.
time. But yes, the Broncos have gotten to my 2 seed. If the Seahawks win, obviously right next week, different conversation. So
Yeah. I think we have it might be the same. Where did you drop the Packers?
9.
Oh, okay. No, it's not exactly the same. Um, but like most of it is the same. At 10, I had the Texans. Uh, 9, the 49ers.
Mm,
8, Bears. 7, Packers. 6,
hmm.
Jaguars. Right. I thought the Jaguars really stood out last week.
Yeah.
Um, and I know you gave me shit for putting them in my power rankings, but I hope you're starting to see now. Like I know.
I'll admit when I'm wrong. I'm a better man. I was wrong.
Uh, same thing with the Texans. The Texans, I'm glad you shouted them out, man, because I think, yeah,
Yeah.
CJ and Nico finally have that connection going again, and I
Mm.
like the offense was struggling in the beginning of the year, but I
Dude,
mean,
and imagine if they had a healthy running. Woody Marks is hurt now, so imagine if they had like
like
an
Joe
actual
Mixon,
competent run. Yeah, like how
yeah,
much that offense would be clicking.
yeah, I agree, man. Like this team would be really scary. That defense, it actually might be like generational because
Dude, they're playing at a crazy clip. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's insane. Um,
Mm.
at 5, I dropped the Patriots to 5
Yeah,
because the Bills beat them. Um, and I think the Bills looked really good against them in that game. So I put them up at 4. Broncos are at 3 for me.
fair,
Um,
fair, fair.
they're still top 5. I just I couldn't put them above the Seahawks because I
Hmm.
I just buy into the Seahawks and the Rams a
Sure,
little bit
sure.
more. So
I just put Seattle down because they struggle with Old Man Rivers and they barely won at home. Just gotta say.
I get it. I that one felt more of like a trap game to me because I it's Phillip Rivers, man.
Can we talk about him throwing a
Like,
touchdown, bro? I was like, yo, am I living my childhood again? What, like,
dude,
what's going on over here?
that was crazy.
Uh,
I cannot believe he played, man. This so crazy.
dude, that blew my mind. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
It's so insane, man.
Insane,
Yeah.
insane. And then obviously, right, Rams at one. But yeah,
Hmm?
so as we wrap up, right, like this is a huge game for the Bears, as we said, right? And hopefully, right next week on Wednesday when we meet, we have a positive reaction and looking forward to possibly a playoff berth. So
Yeah.
yeah, all right. Have a good one, everyone. Till next time.
Later.